James,
Raf.
we've got a lot to get through, so let's not beat around the bush.
No beating around the bush.
All right, straight to it. So after last week's episode, we're going to talk about OpenAI and the Disney deal. It is now legal to make Yoda smoking a bong, maybe.
Yep, maybe.
Mental health apps, what's the deal? This came out of the Discord.
This has been a long requested episode to get into apps like BetterHelp and Calm, Headspace, all these different apps which sort of pitch themselves as being mental health apps.
Yeah.
Which was a big moment over the past, I guess you could say, 4 years.
Roomba, RIP-ish. It's been acquired by its supplier. There's actually a lot here to unpack with Roomba because Amazon tried to buy Roomba. We're talking about the RoboVac, like
Is it
vacuum.
iRobot?
Roomba, made by iRobot. Amazon attempted to acquire iRobot. It got blocked by the Europeans. Now their Chinese manufacturer is buying them out of insolvency. This is Roomba. What's the deal there? I want to touch on holograms briefly.
Okay. You didn't flag this ahead of the episode, but I'm ready.
Why does RAM cost so much? If you're building a computer or whatever, why is RAM...
The RAM shortage, very, very interesting.
And NVIDIA, a little bit of
Scuttlebutt.
A little bit of scuttlebutt from the chip community that I might just pass on as here's some chatter about NVIDIA, Blackwell, TPUs, OpenAI training, this kind of thing. That's definitely paid episode. RAM probably paid episode as well. Roomba, we'll see how much we talk about the other two things. Great.
Let's do it.
All right. OpenAI and Disney.
So, I know this isn't exactly a victory lap. Our producer, Mark, said this should be a victory lap. He said I was right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I was. But we did mention at the end of last week's free episode, we were talking about the Warner Brothers Netflix deal. Just a quick update on that. I don't think this is going to be worked out for a very long time. A lot of crazy bullshit going around with the counter offers from Paramount versus Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers. There's been, more scuttlebutt about outside bidders on this. I don't think we're going to see a conclusion on this for a very long time.
You should issue a correction though, because you did say last week that lawyers, this would be a painful deal.
That's true. I want to.
I nearly flagged it at the time, but I let it slide.
I'm going to apologize because what I meant was, and I got a bit of hate for this in the Discord, I said you'd hate to be a lawyer on this. And one of our lawyer listeners, who I'm sure is listening right now, leapt into the Discord and said, I'm going to pull up the exact, I don't want to misquote anybody.
No, dangerous.
That's dangerous. He said, I can confidently say that James saying that Netflix WB Paramount deal is, quote, the worst ones that you could possibly want to be involved in as a lawyer, close quote, is evidence that James does not understand lawyers at all. They will be killing themselves to get on this deal. I'm going to admit that's correct. I meant it more in the sense of the shit-kicking, paralegal, bottom of the rung people being forced to do work on the deal.
22 hours a day through
22
Christmas.
hours a day on really complex deal terms. They miss Christmas with their family. That's who I was thinking of. I wasn't thinking of the partners.
Not the big end of town. Not the down round listeners.
I was thinking of
not the Downies.
Not the Downies. No, I wasn't. I wasn't you may well be a partner, our friend who's left that comment. But I'm thinking of the little guy. So apology accepted. You can email us with the conclusion of your apology. Anyway, but I did say at the end of that episode that there had been some reporting from the Hollywood Reporter that part of the reason Netflix wanted to acquire this August film studio was assets for AI. In the era of AI, your best defense as a content studio or content producer is having a bunch of really valuable IP. And then lo and behold, 3 days after we recorded that episode, what do we get? OpenAI has signed a deal with Disney. $1 billion of investment from Disney into OpenAI.
Very strange, but yes.
Yep.
It kind of sounds like Disney paying OpenAI, but...
It totally. So this is how they announced it, basically. Yeah. Disney takes a ownership stake in OpenAI, I think is the vibe here. And there may be some other circular deal terms or something. I'm not going to speculate. But what it means is that in OpenAI's Sora, they can use Disney characters. Now, that means Disney animated characters and they're masked characters, which means essentially like Marvel superheroes. No actors' voices and no like actors' faces.
Yeah.
It just means like you've got the Cars from Cars.
Yeah.
All the rest of the Pixar gang. Nemo from Finding Nemo.
Yep, true.
Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Goofy, I assume.
Goofy.
But
could be some fun to be had.
And then like, Spider-Man and shit.
So but crucially, not the actors.
Not the
obviously,
actors.
because they would own their rights to their own like likeness and whatnot.
It'd be
not the voices.
Not the voices, it'd be a legal minefield. But what this essentially means is that you should be able to open the Sora app and generate video of Spider-Man doing something.
Yes, let your mind free.
Let your. I'm not going to. I don't want to interfere with your. I don't want to interfere with your imagination.
No,
with
what's predilections.
What Spider-Man could be? A Spider-Man sitting at the Bloomberg terminal.
Yeah.
Making some high-value trades.
That sounds actually really good.
It could be Spider-Man listening to the Joe Rogan Experience on the bus.
Yeah.
It could be Spider-Man checking his MyGov inbox.
Speaking of, so I'm going to interrupt. So Joe Rogan very recently on a recent voice, he talks about like how he's into AI music.
Yeah, I know exactly
where I'm going to go. And the recent guest is like, oh yeah, and like, he always says like AI music is actually really good.
To be clear, Joe Rogan says that he only listens to AI music now. Like his number one thing to do is, I assume, go to Suno and listen to AI music. Bro.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Anyway.
But a recent guest was like, oh yeah, and AI podcasts are actually pretty good. He's like, no, they're not. No, they're shit.
That's I think, yeah, that captures the mindset of everything, I think.
Yeah.
Again, down around thesis, everything can be automated except what I do.
Except what I do, which is actually like a little bit creative. I put a little bit of a je ne sais quoi on it.
I put a bit of stank on it when I do it.
Yeah.
I'm in the pocket.
And AI is bad at it because it doesn't have that little X factor that I have.
Doesn't get there, Yeah, that was really funny. I did actually read a quote. It was in one of the trade mags. I think it was Variety or Hollywood Reporter, where like someone had been anonymously quoted and saying companies all over, like studios, production houses, whatever, all rights holders across Hollywood would actually be tripping over themselves to make these deals right now.
Yeah. And it should be said, Disney immediately sued Google for like producing their IP license or whatever.
In VO or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it again, this all feels very short-term-ish to me, but like maybe this is the future. Like the whole thing is with these, I mean, movie studios, whatever now is like creating IP that's replicable. The old model of obviously like you sell the plush toys, you sell like the merchandise and whatnot, and now it's like you create this piece of IP. You can't just have like a one-off movie or whatever. It has to have all of this other content, and one of the places where you license this IP is to, I guess, AI video generation. Does that feel like this is like a sustainable thing that in 30 years is the future of content and IP?
Again, last week's episode when I went on that long spiel about the history of Hollywood business models, the one section that I did leave out is the merchandising play. The big example is Star Wars. One of the best deals in the history of Hollywood is that George Lucas, he made Star Wars. He retained the rights to merchandising. Then it kicked off an entire era of, okay, your movie makes X amount in the cinema, but you make 10, 20, 30, 100 times that selling fucking branded lunchboxes, action figures, all that shit. So 20th Century Fox did really well out of Star Wars, but George Lucas, having retained the merchandising rights, made an absolute killing. He's a billionaire. He's done quite well. You're right. This kind of feels like it's built for this weird interstitial world where it's like, I make a really valuable property that gets shown in cinemas. People watch that movie and go, oh, I'd love to see the character from that movie doing stuff in a different context.
Yeah, me and them like playing chess.
Oh, and I'm going to go to Google VO. Oh, I get an error message when I try to generate it because it's copyrighted. Oh, but I can do it on OpenAI. You're so right that it's kind of like, is that a permanent arrangement?
Yeah.
But you can also see why the Hollywood studios are like, people are going to be trying to generate stuff. They're going to be getting around the filters. Why aren't we collecting the upside? Yeah. And it's also, for someone like Disney, they can kick down OpenAI's door and say, here's what we can offer you to like get on this rocket ship.
Yeah. I can't see this happening very soon, but you never know. It might happen. Like the first time someone makes a friggin' 90-minute long new Star Wars that is all of a sudden gaining traction on social media or whatever using Disney likeness on Sora, they'll shut that down very quickly.
I agree. It's like they're obviously happy for it to be like
slop videos
and memes. Oh, like, oh, great. here's another avenue for like Yoda, I don't know, doing something funny, and it's a TikTok video and it's got 900,000 likes. That's free marketing for us. But you're right. When it gets to the point where it's like some random guy in Hyderabad has made a whole Captain America movie.
Yeah, and he's charging $5 to watch it.
They would be like, no. Because like, what is IP if you have absolutely no control over the output?
Well, let alone, the thing is, it's not one. It's like, yeah, one gets some numbers, then all of a sudden there's literally tens of thousands of like 90-minute long Captain Americas that are just like flooding the internet with like it being unclear on what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that. It's like it's anti-AI people are doing it. It is funny. They will find a tweet on X that's like some weird AI guy has made an AI video of SpongeBob SquarePants or whatever.
And they just tag
they quote tweeted it and they go at Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
What is this? I'm confused seeing this. Yeah. This makes me less likely to watch and purchase SpongeBob products in the future.
Yeah.
Just like try to kick off lawsuits against random people. I don't think it's going to work, but it is funny.
Again, feels very interim, but it is something to keep an eye on. Yep. The licensing of IP in the world where anyone can create content.
Yep, I think so. Can you point to like a single thing which is like native to like a AI creator or something, generative AI creator, which is actually like a strong IP in the sense that like you would recognize it immediately. It has cultural valence and it's like fully generated by AI.
Yeah, there's plenty. There's like the woman with the rock smashing the bridge.
That's right. The woman with the rock doing essentially a suicide bombing on a glass bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like obviously, animals via like the Amazon Ring doorbell doing all kinds of things on people's.
That's true. Like, the cat playing.
There's
a shamisen.
9,000 years.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those guys. Again, I don't know if these rise to the level of like
monetizable IP?
Proper IP. Maybe that'll be the moment when we go, okay, we're in a new era.
Well, IP no longer exists.
Oh, how about those like Italian brain rot memes the kids love? Where it's like defined characters, like a weird cucumber. You may not have seen these, but the kids love them.
Oh, do they?
The kids love this shit, and that's pretty AI-ish. Anyway, I'm not going to get too far into it because it will actually demonstrate how much older I am than the people creating culture these days.
Yeah, that's culture, folks, nowadays. Okay, Headspace, meditation apps.
As I said, top of the episode, this has been a request in the Down Around Discord from our premium subscribers. If you're not a premium subscriber, folks, you should be.
Get it for Christmas. Or buy it for a loved one for Christmas or yourself for Christmas.
Just a treat for yourself. Mental health apps.
Yeah.
And I think this is actually a great one that we haven't brought up before.
Well, one of the reasons we haven't brought them up is they're no longer discussed at all. And that's telling.
It is telling. I'm going to call them a ZERP COVID era phenomenon.
Yeah.
So they're obviously much older than that. The moment that you had the App Store, people were doing mental health-ish apps, meditation apps,
breathing exercises,
breathing things,
journaling. Yeah,
like there's all these ones that are in that kind of area where it's like encouraging you to use your smartphone mindfully.
Yes, mindfulness. That
was a big moment in the 2010s.
Yeah,
still is to a certain extent, but it was definitely a 2010s phenomenon. Actually, I think this is really telling because Apple introduced it as part of their Apple Watch software.
Yeah, they got the mindfulness app, the breathing in the morning. Yeah, breathe.
But it's not pushed anymore.
No, I noticed that as well. I don't get it anymore.
When the Apple Watch first came out, it was like a pushed feature is that once a day it would tell you to
breathe.
Breathe. Be mindful for a minute.
Yeah.
It still does the you should stand up thing.
Yes.
And occasionally I have to be like, I'm locked in.
Yeah,
I ain't standing up.
No. And exit the flow state by standing.
Again, this goes back to like what they dreamed the Apple Watch would be. It went from being like a sort of cybernetic mindfulness platform to can you just like stand up?
Stand up once an hour, please.
That's all I ask is once an hour you get off your ass. You don't even have to move. Like the accelerometer will detect that you've stood up.
12 out of the 16 hours of the day, stand up. Stand up 12 times. In 16 hours.
And if you do that 10 times a month, I'll give you an award. Yeah, literally all of that is true. But no, there was a whole bunch of them that came out. So I'm going to run through some numbers. So I was trying to figure out what were the valuations of these companies. So I remembered them having bonza valuations. And I quickly realized that a lot of these, their last known valuation was like 2020, 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Which is normally pretty telling. I think the evidence is that they would be taking a down round.
They would be taking a down round. And Yeah, it's telling because it's like, obviously, you don't want to say that your company is less valuable than it used to be because who's going to invest in you? If you're going down, like, invest in me now because in 2 years, we might be worth less. And obviously, the investors who've already invested don't want to be writing it down because they've got to then tell, their limited partners like, oh yeah, that investment we made was bad because it's gone down in value.
The one that everyone has probably seen a million social media ads for, and I think for me, this is the one when I think of like a mental health app, it's Calm. Calm was everywhere for a while. It is a meditation, sleep, relaxation. It's kind of combination mental health with audiobook vibe. So it's guided meditations. During their peak, which was COVID era, they got a bunch of like celebrities in to do mindfulness readings. And then like you almost had like a Spotify interface of like, oh, you can listen to like Ben Stiller doing a meditation session.
Well, this is the weird thing about them, right?
It's Peloton and Apple Fitness coded as well.
Well, yeah, and this is the, I guess, bigger criticism of VC to a certain extent, but just like the nature of VC companies, right, is, and we've said this a bunch on Down and Out, it's like there are some companies that just probably shouldn't be VC funded. VC funded meaning that, your investors expect a significant return. They're hoping for 100x return, basically, on their investment.
Totally.
Which means that they expect exponential growth. You're a mindfulness app, and you're taking VC money. You need to pull all the strings to get 100x growth. You need to be growing, 30% month on month. Or whatever it is, to be hitting like your goals for growth that's expected for basically a SaaS business. That's why everything coalesces around the same thing, which is A, like subscription, but B, gem, like basically App Store game dynamics. The same is true of like Duolingo, supposedly a language learning app, but it has to use all the gimmicks of push notifications. Have you done your meditation today? Ben Stiller's in. Check out the new Ben Stiller.
And look, we're spending a fuckload on Instagram ads.
Yeah, and then, if you're on the free plan, you're getting push notifications. Today only 30% off, like take care of your mental health by paying the money and signing up for the subscription. 7 days free, then it goes into $120 a year. Like everything's the same.
Totally. And I think Duolingo is actually a great comparison. And we could do a whole episode on Duolingo, honestly. Like that was a real utopian moment for the app economy where it's like, as it started, using like gamification metrics, a really nice slick interface, like pop quizzes, games, tests. You download this app, you subscribe, you can learn Spanish, you can learn French, you can learn whatever. I always hear mixed things. Like some people are like, no, using Duolingo, I learned how to speak like conversational French or whatever.
I've heard, the opposite of just like people like, I've been using Duolingo for 2 years and I went to Italy and I could not do it.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's the thing.
But it's also not like my nephew was using it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, using Duolingo, what language are you learning? He's like, oh, no, I use it to play chess.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Time spent, engaged user minutes becomes your like North Star as an app.
So as a result, Duolingo, like he's playing chess and probably various other games on a language learning app.
And I think the exact same thing happens with Calm and like Headspace, where it becomes like
your streak and
what you're really doing is you're playing a game that makes you feel like you're not wasting time.
Yeah.
Like you're actually achieving something. Whether in the case of like these mental health mindfulness meditation apps, it's like, I'm kind of like stuck in the same incentive loop as like looking at Facebook, but it's better for me. It's fun. Like Duolingo is fun to use. Caveat, I haven't used Duolingo in a long time. It could actually be a fucking nightmare these days. I'm sure it probably is after a whole bunch of like engagement tuning. At the end of the day, you're playing little games, you're dragging little words in place, you're listening to things, whatever. But you're also like, this is better than just playing Candy Crush because I'm actually learning Spanish.
Yeah, or I'm doing mindfulness or whatever. I'm meditating.
Yeah.
And, I'm listening to,
so
Adam Sandler, tell me to breathe.
Yeah.
And be aware of my breathing.
Yeah. So anyway, Calm was valued in December 2020, Series C, $2 billion US valuation. $2 billion. And then in 2022, they reported 4 million paid subscribers. That's not bad. I don't think that gets you to a $2 billion valuation.
No. But this is the thing, like, I can see how 5 years ago we were like, a meditation app with like subscriber growth through the roof, absolutely that's worth $2 billion. But then with hindsight, it's like a meditation app is worth $2 billion.
Exactly. Because, you look at Calm and it's like, this looks like Spotify. There's a ton of content on here. But like, again, when you're talking about things that are VC investable, things that have that hockey stick growth curve, it's like, who is the total addressable market for Calm?
Everyone.
Well, that's what they would say in their slide decks. They're like, everybody needs to take a bit of time out of their day and be mindful. So the total addressable market is 7 billion people.
Well, and interestingly, and we've said this before, like almost every SaaS app needs to go enterprise at some point. Like that became the strategy for a lot of these things, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the place you work has to offer mental health benefits.
You know, you work for a big enough company, there's a fucking page on the intranet.
Yeah. It's like, here are all of the
Here's
things
the crap
you have
you can
access
do.
to. 6 psychology things and like a mental health day, a year. And also you have a free subscription to Calm.
It's smart. You know, because like if you work in, I was about to say it is HR, but I think there's probably a job title in there that doesn't get issued to many people these days, head of experience or head of, whatever. You know, a lot of companies had these kind of like employee benefit teams that are about motivation and whatever. To me, that era really read as like, okay, well, we can't give them the fucking pinball machines and gummy dispensers that big tech companies have. Our company is realistically not going to give you a cool, fun beanbag workplace like Atlassian. We're a fucking bank. We're a fucking bank. That's not going to happen. Yeah. But we can kind of simulate it a bit.
Yeah. We offer all of these employee benefits.
This crap you can do. Oh, wow. There's a button to like sign up. And, the Calm sales team would be like, it's X per seat or we're like a flat fee across the org. Great. No one's going to use it.
No one's going to use it, but you pay us $5,000 a year and you get to say you offer, mental health benefits. We get money. No one uses it. Moving on.
Another classic example of this, which also I was at a company that did this. Blinkist.
Oh yeah, they're like it books in 20 minutes or whatever. Is it that one?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to talk about AI in a bit, but there's a company that I'm sure is fucking obliterated by AI. The whole concept of Blinkist is like little short audio books that explain what a book is about so you don't have to read it. And I remember I was working at a company where like they were like, send an email around, guys, we've got a Blinkist subscription. Here's a couple that I listened to, red hot. Guess what? You don't have to read a book anymore.
Yeah. Daniel Kahneman, like thinking fast and slow, just bang out a 20-minute.
And you will learn everything that's in that book. Daniel Kahneman is keeping these secrets from you by forcing you to read and think about it. Yeah, I think these are all the Duolingo, Blinkist, Calm. It's all a mush genre, like personal SaaS platforms. Yeah, they sit in the middle of SaaS and like consumer apps like Spotify.
Because it's all that like marginal cost thing. It's like we pay someone with a beautiful voice to give a reading. We record them for 4 hours. Yeah, we've got 60 readings, and we can scale that to 6 billion people.
Yep.
That's 99.9% net margin.
Hell yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, totally. Celebrity readings of meditation sessions. That's like a bit of content.
That's a red flag. Let's be honest. Like,
yeah, that you've gotten over your skis a bit there, I think. And it's also like, what is the value of that outside of like a real banger Instagram ad, which I think is what the entire thing.
That's what I mean. This is why you can kind of package them all up, because all they are is customer acquisition cost, customer retention, and like customer lifetime value. It's the LTV to CAC ratio for all the heads out there. Those 3 metrics, and then you just like put whatever on it to like make those go up. Like the actual content doesn't matter. It's just like they all fit into that same bucket of like those metrics, and then the rest is just like another skin on it.
Totally. And you think about the perfect version of these apps, which is actually functional and makes a lot of money, is clearly not going away, is Spotify, right? Where it's like you sign up. If you like music and you have any non-tolerance for like inconvenience, you will sign up for Spotify or Apple Music or something. If you like music at all and you don't have like some extreme moral opposition to streaming, which is a very, very small, existing but very, very small population, you will sign up for Apple Music, Spotify, or like Tidal or something. Probably one of the first two, realistically, or YouTube Music or something. You're not going to churn out of that unless you like lose your job and have no money. You develop a moral opposition to streaming because of some artist compensation thing that you have. You're mad that Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, is investing in weapons systems, which is the current thing. Absolutely no shade to people who have cut their Spotify subscription because of that. But like, these are pretty narrow Yeah. You're not going to churn out of it because you're not going to suddenly be like, I've heard enough.
Yeah. Done.
All right, great.
Music, done.
Music, that was good. God, that was good. There were some good times. Went some great gigs, listened to a bunch of music.
Yeah.
But,
not really into it anymore.
At some time you got to grow up. It's time to grow up, people.
You know what? Whistling will do for me.
I would put Spotify as in terms of content and platforms at the absolute end of the churn spectrum.
Yeah.
Because you're probably not going to stop liking music and all the rest of it.
Well, also the nature of the beast is you actually do get new content all the time.
Yeah,
and their model is, where they don't pay for content themselves, they have a revenue share with labels.
And as long as they're feeding you new stuff, music's coming out, they're recommending things, you're always going to be into it. And then under that, I would put audiobooks.
Yeah,
and things like that. And I know the model is different. If you sign up for Audible, if you like audiobooks, it's a great way to get them. You get a couple of credits every month, subscription, probably enough to listen to enough books for you. But again, that's a little bit further down the chain. Right down the other end, I would put things like Duolingo, Calm.
Yeah. That is a real kind of discretionary spend.
It's super. Yeah. If you're someone who really fucking needs Calm and you're not going to churn out of it, maybe there's something else going on.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure that there are people out there who it gets me to meditate. It's great. I love it. It's been good for me. Totally. But $2 billion, $3 billion for these valuations for someone telling you to breathe.
And is it ever going to be that different? The new content, the new people who are recording?
No, of course not.
There's a new person recording it.
Yeah, Zerp stuff. Anyway, it's an interesting one. But yeah, it also just speaks to if you want to play in this game of acquiring customers, retaining them, and maximizing average revenue per user, you're going to end up in the same place of push notifications and gamification and all of the little doodads that come with. Every business is the same.
Yep. The other side of it, though, which I think is worth mentioning, so there are the ones that are kind of in that meditation, mindfulness, light mental health help, I would describe it, helping you to breathe, helping you to think, whatever, giving you meditations. The other side of it is the more telehealth inflected one, where it's BetterHelp is the big one in this thing. So it's owned by, and this I think gives you a sense, it's owned by Teladoc, which is a large telehealth company. And these are ones where it's an actual online therapy marketplace where you are being connected with therapists to talk to over video calls and with various bits of content. These ones seem a lot bigger right now. I see a whole bunch of TikTok ads for BetterHelp.
Yeah, I hear about BetterHelp.
And I'm always I know the whole telehealth industry is a little bit sketch by nature.
Yes.
They're usually pretty much just pill arbitrage operation.
Yeah.
How quickly can you be diagnosed and given Ozempic?
Yeah, it's or a Medicare arbitrage type thing.
Or a weed prescription or something like that. I think if you're at a point where it's a therapist marketplace and you're being slammed with TikTok ads for it,
thumbs up.
Something ain't right.
Yeah.
In the world of mindfulness apps, that's the current play. And it seems BetterHelp's pretty dominant. And some of those ads, man, I see them on TikTok and they are properly predatory.
What are we talking? Can you sell me?
I'm trying to remember the exact thing, but they're very slickly done. So they've obviously they've put a bunch of money behind it. They're really highly produced ads.
You ever feel like you haven't reached your potential?
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe. Yeah. Are you consistently feeling low? Blah, blah, blah. With really sleek characters that are blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's the whole goal is let's just shovel you into a therapy subscription plan.
Yeah, of course. Same thing, same business.
Yeah.
Acquire customers, retain them.
Get them in, retain them. Obviously, a little bit more labor intensive because it actually involves.
But they're a marketplace, right? The therapist wouldn't be working for them.
No,
they'd just
exactly.
be clipping the ticket.
That's right. Yeah,
exactly. For them, again, it's just a skin on the same thing.
Exactly.
The content for them is the therapist.
Yep. Again, when you put it like that, it's great. This is where we get to the point which I think affects all these apps. And I would love to see how it actually plays out. But obviously, this is maybe one space where it's really obvious where AI steps in, right?
Yeah, all of this.
All of this is very, very AI inflected. I mean, let's go through each of the ones we've just talked about. Fucking Blinkist.
I mean, that's literally what AI does.
AI can summarize a book for you.
Yeah.
Notebook LM can do that right now.
Well, I remember for whatever reason, at some point did do the free trial of Blinkist, or I don't know if it's Blinkist or the other one. There's another one that's the same. And immediately the first book that I pressed play on was computer voice. It wasn't a person reading it. Now, some of them were people reading it, but it's they were already, and this was years ago. I was oh, this is unlistenable. It's a computer talking to me, that is like AI is just the best version of that. It's it's like a computer talking to me, but like it sounds better than the shitty one that Blinkist can use. Although I'm sure that Blinkist nowadays is using like the best voice models, 11 Labs or whatever.
Totally.
But regardless, it like literally it's what AI does.
Absolutely. And also like,
and I can ask it questions.
And actually this links back to the first conversation we had this episode, which was about, Hollywood licensing or whatever. Like 11 Labs are licensing a whole bunch of actors' voices. 11 Labs, to be clear, they're like considered kind of like the best AI voice platform. Like you can go on there and like get it
text to speech.
The inflection is really good. You can give it instructions about how to talk. This is one of the things when I first saw 11 Labs and companies like it, I was like, oh fuck, audiobooks are cooked. Hasn't happened yet. Like I haven't seen.
There's still something about
something is holding it back. I haven't seen audiobooks get absolutely swamped.
They still just don't nail it.
No, exactly. I think that's the problem. Like when I listen
it's uncanny valley.
If I listen to an 11 Labs voice read a passage of text to speech, I'm like, fuck, that's really impressive.
Yeah.
I think if I listened to it for 25 hours for an entire long audiobook, I would walk out of the other side and be like, that is noticeably worse than if a human being had done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, they can shake it up, they can vary it. There's more variance in how a human being reads.
It's good for AI. It's great for a computer. It's amazing for a computer.
It's great, exactly.
But it's just...
And if I listened to it, if it was given to me absolutely cold, maybe I wouldn't be able to tell it was AI. Maybe.
I think this is one of those things that will change. It seems like these things are literally progressing hard. But like, I hear AI shit all the time, voice all the time, and I feel like I can tell straight away.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe on like very short things, but like as soon as you get a little bit longer,
the inflections get weird and even if it fucks up one inflection in a way that a human being wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Your lizard brain starts like vibrating and you go, that's not right. But point being,
for someone reading a 20-minute summary of a book, I can get AI in a pretty decent way, like giving me the summary, and I can go back and forth and ask a question and say, well, what about how would that apply to this situation, etc.
There's a difference between I am listening to an audiobook because I want to have an entertainment reading experience and I want it to be really good, and they're already in the door because it's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I actually don't want to read a book.
I want to skip that.
I want the information crammed into my brain as quickly as it can.
Yeah.
So I can learn about 7 habits of highly effective people without having to read it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I want to pay a subscription to just be pumping that into my brain every day. Like this is like slop. Like, I'm getting smarter by having highly condensed versions of books just pumped at me, and I want to pay a monthly subscription for the privilege.
That is the sell is like I'm becoming smarter, but you're not actually, but like just the sensation that like I'm imbibing so much information.
When someone says, have you read Sapiens? You can say, yes, I did read that. I ticked that off. Yes.
What was your favorite insight? Next topic, please. So there's that. Okay. Blink is out the door. Calm. Again, we're getting back to like celebrities reading voices. Is that really going to be a big deal when fucking Morgan Freeman has licensed his voice to 11 Labs that can do a reading, and then it loses the complete novelty that it was the actual person reading it or whatever?
I query those business models in general.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like,
I'm sure they're fine business. This is the thing. I say, like, I'm sure it's a fine business as long as it's not like a VC backed business.
It's not going to make.
It's just a fine, normal business. It's not going to. There are a bunch of people who find it useful.
Great. It's not worth $2 billion, and it's not going to get 3 billion users like Meta or whatever, which is fine. Many things will not. And then Duolingo, this is the big one. People have been predicting for ages that it's going to get steamrolled by AI. Again, it's one of those situations where it's like, I think the Duolingo brand is kind of strong enough to keep it persistent, but it's also at risk.
This is a broader conversation, but like, and maybe people have been predicting the death of like learning other languages for a long time. But I think being bilingual, I'm bearish on being bilingual.
On learning 2 languages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just less and less reason to do it. I learned other languages. Like I lived in France for a bunch, God forbid, a cheeky little slice of the elegant continent speak a little Parisian. But it's harder and harder to justify when you can do live translation anyway. You can be like in a rural province and. And
also, like, I think I might have mentioned in the podcast, but like I did like 7 years of Japanese. More, because I did it for all of primary school, and then I think 3 years of high school I did Japanese. It was compulsory. That was like, normally a primary school would just pick one language.
Yeah.
Mine was Japanese. This was the 90s, so I think it was a real hangover from
Yeah.
the New South Wales Department of Education being like, we're about to live in a Japanese planet.
Yeah.
This was after the Asian market crash.
Yeah.
So they really should have known.
No, Japanese was at my school as well.
It was
It was
just-
one of the big four.
It's just like, you got to learn Japanese, folks,
We-
because
yeah.
you'll all be speaking it.
Yeah. Ours were, your choices were Japanese, French, German, and Latin.
Yeah, Latin. That's
Crazy that even like in the early 2000s, like Mandarin, whatever, like Chinese wasn't just like...
the kids should be learning Mandarin or like Indonesian, like Bahasa Indonesian or something. Like give them something that's in the region that can like plug them in.
Yeah.
Don't be teaching. They don't need to learn French
No.
or German.
Let alone German, no offense. Entschuldigung.
German, please. I mean, French, it's got to be, maybe they could go be like a Special Forces commando in West Africa.
That's true. They could go to Senegal.
They could go to Senegal, join the French Special Forces, the French Foreign Legion. But I actually think, I'm interested in like the better help side of things because people who have serious problems in the brain are already using ChatGPT to self-medicate.
Yeah. That is doing therapy.
And fucking feed their delusions about themselves and the world. That's a serious problem. But like, even if it's problematic, people are fucking doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, therapists have been replaced.
They've automated therapy.
Yeah. That might be one of the first jobs to go. Like people were worried, like radiologists are like, AI will be able to select it more. And it turns out that like radiology is booming because it gives radiologists more time to, A, see more patients and B, like, do the kind of interpersonal stuff. Whereas like therapists, they might be the first job to go. Wow.
Big respect to the radiologists of the world. You do a medical degree. I know it's like one of the most in-demand professions because they get paid like $500,000 a year to basically look at pictures. And I don't know if we've got some radiologist listeners, I think statistically it's possible.
Yeah.
And you would like to challenge us on that, come on the pod. But I do think your job is doing a medical degree, specializing, and then spending the rest of your career being paid a lot of money to look at pictures and be like, ooh, don't like that.
Might have to chop him open.
Hang on.
Someone else deal with
There's
it.
a bit of a mass. I can see a mass.
Maybe some more scans.
Let me one scan. Sorry, there must have been something wrong with the machine.
There's a fly on the machine.
Pretty good. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed our little mental health discussion, and I hope that your mental health is doing well as well. We said
for the record, me too.
Okay, great. A few weeks ago, we asked you guys to leave us some reviews on Apple Podcasts. That offer is still open.
Yeah, and if you're on like Spotify, hit the 5 stars. You can't leave a review, but hit 5 stars.
Just hit 5 stars. It's very helpful to us. And as promised, a few of the reviews that came in, we're going to read them out. And this one's actually relevant to this episode. Someone's written, like Blinkist for the discerning tear, and then unfortunately the iPhone cuts it off. I'm going to assume tech enthusiast.
Oh, we're blinkers for the tech enthusiasts.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm writing. This was a week ago. When they're not working on building AGI or sending rockets to Mars, Sam Altman and Elon Musk spend a lot of time listening to podcasts.
Yep.
Down Round, the #1 tech and business podcast by James Hennessy and Ralph Dixon.
No, drop the L, folks. My name's Raphael. God damn.
It's the one they listen to first. Foundational listening for anyone who wants to usher in the moment when they build it and everyone dies.
Okay.
Good review.
Sure. Thank you.
Down Round, more like Up Square.
Yep.
Interesting. I've been listening to Hamish and Andy since their radio days. I really like their tech podcast.
Who's Hamish and
That's
who's
funny.
Andy?
Rated 9 out of 10. The extra one will come when they start doing more than one podcast a week. Phil, we do more than one podcast a week, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Ben Johnson has left a review, 5 stars. Apple cucks. We'll take that.
We'll take that.
Did you know if you download DD on an iPhone, your text turn green? I don't think that's true, Ben.
No, we can spread that.
You know what? I'll spread the rumor. Anyway,
what was the one where people were hating on us? Because I'm looking at Pocket Casts, and thank you for we don't have any like written reviews, but we got 145. We're at 4.9 stars. I'll take that. So on Pocket Casts, keep hitting them 5 stars.
Keep smacking that button.
What was
folks.
it? Podcast Addict or something, or Podbean? What was it? Down Round on Podcast Addict, the #1. Here we go. That's us. Reviews. Yeah, we've got some reviews on Podcast Addict. Fuck, there's a few. Oh my god, we've never checked this before.
I think we have. One of them was negative.
We've got 3 new ones. Olympus Mon says 100% financial advice. Thank you.
Yep, I agree.
They WD, the #1 podcast about coastline length and the potential AI brings to the world of shoes. strong recommend. Just skip the bits about Apple. Podcast Addict hates Apple.
A lot of people seem to.
Mumra says, Podcast Addict Down Round fans rise up. So thank you to the Podcast Addict Down Round fans. Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. And the other thing that we wanted to bring up as a matter of housekeeping, we're still soliciting submissions for Down Round Shark Tank, which we're doing next week. Mm-hmm. If you have any more pitches for a startup, send us a message on Instagram.
Yeah, just comment on the most recent post on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. A DM on Instagram, comment, whatever. Email us at hi@downaround.net.
Or in the Discord if you're in there.
Holiday Omnibus episode.
Absolutely.
Next week. Anyway, we're
coming up. Roomba, Ramcos, maybe NVIDIA and TPU Scuttlebutt holograms?
I'm interested in this one. If you're not subscribed to Down Round Premium, downround.net.
Yeah, buy an annual one.